In 2018, something surprising happened. The United States, under President Donald Trump, announced heavy tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. Canada, one of America's closest allies, suddenly found itself hit with a 25% tariff on steel and a 10% tariff on aluminum. The reason? National security. That's what the US claimed. But to Canada, and to many others around the world, it just didn't add up. This move didn't just affect trade. It caused a ripple through politics, business, and global diplomacy. But in moments like this, real friends step up. And that's exactly what happened. Here are 10 countries that helped Canada during one of the most unexpected trade battles in recent history. 10. India. Standing for Fair Trade India was quick to speak out. Officials there made it clear that using national security as a reason for trade restrictions wasn't right. They said it set a dangerous precedent. India supported the idea of fair trade. They didn't just talk. They also started looking at ways to work more closely with Canada. Talks about trade deals picked up, and the two countries began exploring new areas of cooperation. India's support helped show that countries far from Canada still had its back. 9. Australia. A voice of balance. Australia didn't stay quiet either. While it's a close partner to both Canada and the US, it didn't agree with the tariffs. Australian officials encouraged open talks and stressed the importance of using proper trade channels to resolve disputes. Australia warned that trade wars only hurt everyone in the end. Their calm and balanced approach gave Canada added strength on the global stage. In tough times, even quiet support can carry a lot of weight. 8. China, offering economic alternatives. China saw what was happening and quickly moved to build stronger ties with Canada. With the US already locked in a trade war with China, this was a chance for both countries to help each other. China increased interest in Canadian products, including food, natural resources, and minerals. It wasn't just support, it was also strategy, but it worked in Canada's favor. It gave Canadian companies new places to send their products when the US market became uncertain. 7. South Korea, standing against protectionism. South Korea, like Canada, believed the US tariffs were unfair. They joined other countries in saying that protectionism was the wrong path. South Korea also began exploring closer partnerships with Canada, especially in tech and green energy. Their support may not have made headlines, but it mattered. It added another strong voice to the growing list of nations standing with Canada. 6. Japan, speaking up for stability. Japan didn't waste time. Leaders in Tokyo raised concerns about the global impact of the US tariffs. They knew this could shake up supply chains and weaken trust between allies. Japan's response was steady and firm. It emphasized that long-standing trade partners like Canada shouldn't be treated unfairly. Japan continued to support Canada at major trade meetings and stood by its side as the situation unfolded. 5. France, loud and clear. Support. France was among the most outspoken critics of the US tariffs. President Emmanuel Macron called them a mistake and said they violated trade rules. France not only spoke up, but also worked with Canada to respond. French officials pushed for a united European response and made sure Canada didn't face this challenge alone. They showed that when one partner is treated unfairly, the others won't just watch. 4. United Kingdom, backing a trusted ally. Even while dealing with Brexit, the United Kingdom found time to stand with Canada. British leaders said Canada had always played by the rules and didn't deserve this kind of treatment. The UK made it clear that their relationship with Canada would stay strong. They promised that whatever happened with the US, the UK would keep its doors open for Canadian trade. That reassurance gave Canada an extra layer of confidence. 3. Germany, leading the European response. Germany, as Europe's largest economy, had a big role to play, and it stepped up. German officials said the tariffs were harmful not just to Canada, but to global trade as a whole. Germany backed Canada in international discussions and helped shape the EU's response. It also began exploring more direct economic ties with Canada. Germany's support carried real weight and made it harder for the US to ignore the backlash. 2. European Union, United Front. The European Union came out strongly against the tariffs. Leaders across Europe said there was no justification for targeting allies like Canada. The EU didn't stop at words. They took action. They placed their own tariffs on US goods and began working more closely with Canada on trade deals. The EU's support was critical. It sent a message. Canada wasn't fighting alone. 1. Mexico, North American solidarity. Mexico was hit by the same US tariffs, but instead of going solo, it joined forces with Canada. The two countries worked closely together in negotiations and matched each other's responses. They supported each other in public statements, in trade talks, and in retaliatory measures. Their teamwork during the NAFTA renegotiations showed the power of unity. Together, they stood up to a bigger neighbor, and they did it side by side.